Hey guys, I'm Tamara Bennett with Southern Adoornments Decor, and we're getting ready to paint a really cute Easter design. So this is an Easter egg with a bunny here and a bunny there and a bunny there, and then there's flowers. And so I don't know, it was really pretty. It kind of reminded me of like a quilt pattern. And so this is what we're going to be painting. This is called the Floral Bunny Egg in my shop. So if you guys have not heard, Painters Clubhouse is open for enrollment right now, and you can join until tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Let me see if I can increase the brightness on this because it feels a little dark in here. To start this door hanger off, we are going to paint it a light turquoise color, but like a really light turquoise color. Like I'm thinking we're going to mix some white in with this so that it's not quite as bright. It's going to be like a really soft turquoise. So I'm just going to mix together about half and half white and turquoise in my little egg carton here. It may take more paint than that now that I think about it though, if we're going to paint the whole thing this color. We got to have this paint go a little further than that. Angela says, how do I get that shirt? So if you want one of these Sprinkle the Love t-shirts, I think we only have extra large and 2X left, and you can go to my shop at shopdoorhangers.com and snag one of those. They're still in the shop. Barely surviving with 3 boys, a hubby in the house. Cassie, I can so relate. Now my hubby has not been in the house nearly as much because he works on a farm, and so he's still been able to go to work each day. So that gets him out of the house. And then the weather has been so nice that when he comes home in the evenings, he's been able to go work in the yard, and so that has helped tremendously because we're just not stuck in the house together all the time. And so tonight the whole family was out in the yard until about 30 minutes ago, and when the sun finally went down, and we were all working. And well, I was working a little bit. We'll give myself a little bit of credit. I was working a little bit. I was pulling weeds, and Charlie got in there and was helping me until she got distracted looking for worms, earthworms, and the boys were taking up an old garden that we had out there and moving the cinder blocks from that old garden to a new location where we're going to plant a new garden. And so they actually found 3 black widow spiders while moving those old blocks, so they had to be real careful and wear gloves and stuff, and thankfully nobody got stung. But those things are ugly, kind of vicious looking. I don't like spiders, so I did not go in the garden. I stayed over in the regular landscaping right next to the house, just pulling weeds. And it was so nice outside. Did anybody else spend time outside today? Okay, so I'm just giving this a real good coat of this light turquoise that I've kind of mixed together. It doesn't have to be super good coat just because there's so much else going on this door hanger that it doesn't really matter much. So I'm not really even worrying about getting it covered real good. I'm just covering some of the thin spots again. Most of this is going to be covered with flowers and bunnies and greenery. It's going to be so pretty. Somebody the other day asked if this one was available painted, and I was like, not yet, but I am getting ready to paint it on Facebook Live tonight. So if you do want to buy one painted, we have them available in our shop painted. If you want to paint one yourself, you can go and buy the etched version of this, and it has all of the design laser etched in the surface. If you saw the very beginning of the video, you would have seen that. So you can grab it like that. Hang on, I need a new paper towel. This one is getting all gunked up with paint. Okay, so now that it's all covered, let's give it a little dry. I just blew my paper towel on the floor. Let's see if I can pick it up with my feet. Okay, now that we've got the whole thing dry, we can start painting let's just start with the bunnies because we know they're going to be white. And this one can be kind of intimidating. So if you're a first-time painter, I probably don't recommend starting with one that has this many different things going on. Like, choose one that's less intimidating to start with, because one that has this much going on can really seem overwhelming. Because even to me, sometimes when I sit down to paint one of these, I'm like, whew, where do I even start? It's got so much going on. Oof, I just dripped white paint. But it's so worth it when you get it done. So just don't start with one of these if you're brand new. Start with something a little simpler, a little less complicated, less going on in the design. This is definitely one that's a little bit more experienced. Now, if you are a beginner painter and you've never painted a door hanger before, it doesn't matter. You can still join the Painters Clubhouse. We have a beginner's course that you can start with. Matter of fact, several of the women who've already joined have been going through that beginner's course, and I've been seeing so many wonderful comments. Everybody's been saying how helpful it has been and how excited they are, and they're just really loving the content that they're already getting to partake in. So if you're one of those that's like sitting around right now during this coronavirus madness and you're sick of watching Netflix, come join the Painters Clubhouse and learn how to paint. It's a really great way to pass the time. And there's never been a better time to learn a new skill. And you're going to be connected with an amazing group of women in the Painters Clubhouse that are going to brighten your day each and every day so that you don't get depressed sitting at home during the coronavirus. Lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it, social distancing. That sounds like a nice, polite way to say it. Myrna says, can you hold that up so we can see what you are seeing after you got it all ready? I can't tell how you know where to paint. Okay, let's see if I can zoom in on this and maybe it will show you. Can you guys see? It's probably really difficult to see the etched lines. You can kind of make out the etched lines in the design. It won't let me zoom in any more than that. But you can kind of still see the lines etched in the surface, and that's where I'm painting. I can see the lines myself, so that is how I know where to paint. Sorry, I'm getting used to this new camera. We'll keep it zoomed in right there for you guys for a few minutes, so maybe you can kind of better see what I'm doing. The reason I'm trying this camera is because we take these videos, we download them, and we put them on YouTube. Now, when I'm painting on Facebook Live, the easiest way to record the video so that you guys can see what I'm doing is in portrait mode, so that you see my face, you see the door hanger, and you can see what I'm doing. But the problem with that is when we then upload it over on YouTube, YouTube automatically puts it in landscape mode, and so then you really can't see what I'm painting because the video is so far away, and so that's kind of frustrating. And so we were going to try out this new camera and see if this works better, zooming in on what I'm working on and everything. But I wish that I could like look up and talk to you guys and you could see my face while I'm doing this, because it's still not ideal. So I don't know. I haven't fallen in love with this new camera yet. I'm trying to give it a chance. But you know how it goes with new technology. It's really difficult sometimes to get used to a new way of doing things. And so I'm not for sure sold on it as a way to continue doing my videos all the time. YouTube may just have to get over the fact that I do them in portrait mode on Facebook, because that's better for Facebook. So I don't know. We'll see. We may keep doing them this way and we may not. Okay, so we've got 3 bunnies painted on here. I'm going to dry those real quick and put another coat on them. What was your favorite thing you did today? Savannah, it was probably just sitting outside watching my kids play. Sounds like my husband is laying the smack down on the kids in there, like making them clean their rooms and stuff. It's been rough adjusting to a new routine with homeschooling and keeping up the house and keeping everything, like having everybody home all the time. I know y'all can probably relate to that. So even if I just get one thing painted during the day, I feel so much better about myself. Or if I do one Facebook Live, it's like I feel like I got something really good accomplished. And so if you're feeling that same feeling and you need to feel a little bit of a win each day, come and paint with us. You'll feel like you're winning every day. That's really cheesy, isn't it? Really cheesy thing to say, Tamara. So one of my favorite things that we do inside the Painters Clubhouse is something called a Zoom paint party. And if you were a part of the spring door hanger challenge that we did last week, you got to experience this sort of on a smaller scale. We do this once a month inside the Painters Clubhouse where we all come together and we chat with each other on Zoom while we paint. And so it's so much fun because we get to connect with one another, see each other's face, hear each other's voice, and it's like you're making friends online. Sandy, Painters Clubhouse is $37 a month, or you can sign up for the yearly and get 2 months for free, and you get instant access to the Painters Clubhouse vault if you sign up for a year at a time. Okay, let's pick a color. Let's see, I wanted to use like a melon kind of color for some of these flowers. This is Deco Art Americana Melon, and that is the actual name of it, Melon. So we're going to paint all of these kind of flowers that color. And I'm just using a little flat tip brush to go in here and stop it. My husband thinks it's so funny to pound on the window on the front porch and scare the crap out of me. He did it earlier and I like nearly had a heart attack. He thinks he's so funny. He really ought to set up a camera and record my reaction. All right, I was going to go around the middle of that, but I think we're just going to paint over it. So if the truth be told, a couple times this week, I've even made the kids load the dishwasher and take care of the dishes. I'm like, all right, I cooked, y'all clean up. Goodbye. And I just step away. Just let them handle it. So, but I do currently have a mountain of laundry that needs to be folded. So, may have to do that later. Eventually it catches up with you because you run out of underwear. Or socks or something. Although it is getting to be flip-flop season, so you could go without the socks. Dana got her t-shirt today and used her Painters Clubhouse discount code on the templates. Yes, awesome, Dana. So what Dana's talking about is our Painters Clubhouse discount code. Everybody in Painters Clubhouse gets a 20% off code that they can use as many times as they like to go into our shop at shopdoorhangers.com and get any blanks or templates at 20% off. And they can use that as many times as they want. There's not a limit on it. As long as you're a Painters Clubhouse member, you have access to it. And so if you are obsessed with door hangers and just need more or want to buy your blanks instead of cutting them yourself, you can go right into the shop there and just get what you need. So inside the Painters Clubhouse, we also try to get you to cut your own because it is so empowering when you learn how to cut your own door hangers. And that sounds super cheesy too, but it is the truth. Any of the ladies on here that are watching, if they cut their own, they can attest to this. Something about it makes you feel like you can do anything. And so it's very empowering. It makes you feel good about yourself. And it makes you that much more proud of the end product that you achieve after you've painted the door hanger. Something about it just kind of makes you feel like, wow, like, look what I did. And so that's why we encourage you guys to learn to cut your own shapes, either with a jigsaw or a scroll saw. And in the beginner's course part of Painters Clubhouse, we have a video showing you exactly how to do that. And we walk you through it step by step so that you know exactly what tools to get, you know which jigsaw blades are the best, and we have little tips and tricks that make it even easier for you. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared to learn. It's not nearly as hard as it sounds. Also, I'm going to encourage you, if you have joined Painters Clubhouse, to go and download an app. I'm going to say the name of it, and then you're going to be like, wait, what? I need to write that down. I can't pronounce that. Kajabi. Kajabi. Is that right? Kajabi. Yeah, Kajabi. Painters Clubhouse members can download that app, log in right there on the app, and you don't have to remember your password or your username or anything. The Kajabi app keeps you logged in, and you can access your trainings directly from that app. Super easy. Do you cut with a jigsaw? Sue, I cut with a jigsaw for the first 4 years in my business until I started to get busy enough that I needed to outsource that, and I found someone local who does laser cutting, and so now he laser cuts all of my door hangers for me, and that's what we sell. We sell the laser cut door hangers. So I no longer cut my own unless I'm just in a pinch and need something before, you know, and before he can get it to me. And sometimes I will like grab the jigsaw and go out in the garage and just get it done. But for the most part, I do all laser cut blanks now just out of convenience. Do we put in the etching? That's a good question, Marcia. So our templates come with the lines on them, and you use graphite paper to transfer the design to your wood. So the graphite paper goes under the template. Then you can trace on top of the template with a ballpoint pen or something, and it will transfer the design to your wood, so that all you have to do is cut it out, and then you have all the lines drawn on your design, and you just have to paint. Even the words most of the time are on the templates, so you don't have to freehand any lettering or anything like that. So in the case of this one right here, what I would recommend, if you're going to paint this one, I would say just start out by tracing the outer shape, cut it out with your jigsaw or your scroll saw, paint the background color, dry it really good, then lay your template on top of the blue color and transfer the bunnies and the flowers and everything on top of the blue. And it will make your life so much easier. You won't have to freehand anything. I'm nearly done getting a second coat on these, and then we'll move on to something else. Because the blue was underneath, it's taken 2 good coats of this melon color to get these flowers covered. Does anybody else have any other questions? Are you going to restock the gray shirt like the one you have on? Not currently, Carla, because we had a bunch of these printed all at one time, and we're just selling off what we had left. What is the average cost to get someone to cut templates for you? I'm not sure, Deborah. That would just depend on the person that you ask. Do you use Revolution Ply or MDF? These are all, the ones that are all laser cut, Linda, are MDF. But if I was going to go and jigsaw cut my own right now, I would get Revolution plywood. Shirley, I have been stating what colors. This was melon. The background color is white mixed with sea breeze, and then this is just white. That's all I've got so far. Okay, Tanya says, I use a scroll saw. I love it. It makes me feel safer. Yes, so just work with whatever makes you feel better. All right, let's paint the background colors of our little rosettes here. I'm going to do those in a darker color. Let's see, that's not quite dark enough. There's one called Razzleberry that I really like. Yes, this is it. It's more of like a really rosy, ooh, it's spurting out everywhere. It's a really rosy color. I've got a mess. This thing like hiccuped and burped all over me. Okay. It's a really pretty rose color. It's not red, it's just a dark, dark pink. Razzleberry. It's even got a fun name. So all of the things that we teach you in the Painters Clubhouse, we actually encourage you to try to sell your door hangers that you're learning how to paint, and we encourage you to start doing paint parties in your hometown, teaching them and selling them. Now, the reason we encourage you to do that is because we know it's going to cause you to make progress, and it really does. It's just like the jigsaw. When you cut out your own shape, you're so proud of it, and you feel a sense of accomplishment and pride, and it's a boost in your self-confidence. It's the same way when you sell a door hanger or when you teach someone else how to do something at a paint party. Something about that really makes an impact on these ladies, and they really, it's kind of life-changing for them. They gain a new sense of confidence through teaching and selling their door hangers. And so we are very encouraging about that in the Painters Clubhouse. We want you to learn how to sell what you make, and we want you to be successful, because if you're making money, you're able to pay your Painters Clubhouse dues, right? So why wouldn't we? Sandy said, I only get paid on the 3rd of each month. Is there a way I could figure out how I could join and then pay on the 3rd? I don't think so, Sandy, because all of our payments have to come out during this period right before the end of the month, because the new month starts on the 1st. And on the 1st, we put out new content. And so we have already removed people from the membership at that point that have canceled. Heather said, is $50 too much to ask? Heather, it really just depends on, your experience level. Whoops, I got a little bit of paint outside the lines over here. It really just depends on your experience level and the difficulty level of the door hanger. So, if it was one like this that has a ton of details on it, and you've been painting for a while and you've got a good customer base built up, then no, I don't think $50 is too much to ask. But the average cost right now for somebody who's probably pretty experienced and selling a lot of door hangers is probably between the $40 to $50 range. But somebody who's maybe not as experienced, who hasn't painted as many, is probably going to start out selling more like $30 to $35 because that's about where I started. Actually, I started probably more like $25. So it just kind of depends because if you start out way too high, then maybe you don't start out selling any. But once you start to sell more, you kind of become known as the go-to person for these, and then you're able to charge more. For the challenge door hanger, for instance, Heather, you could probably easily sell that one for $50 because even though we know that design, this one right here, wasn't that hard for us to make because we know the steps that it took. To somebody who doesn't know how to paint, looking at this, they would think this was really difficult, and they would think that it would cost more. So, but because we have already, learned how to paint it, it's not nearly as hard for us. So the perception is that it's more difficult than it really is. Okay. What brand of paint do you use, Molly? They are all Deco Art Americana craft paints. They're matte acrylics. Also, all right, let's get a couple of colors of green. I don't like to work with just one color of green when I'm doing all this greenery. I like to kind of have two different colors so that they kind of look a little bit different from one another. Like maybe the leaves one color and the vines another color. So let's see, we'll start out with the lighter color and we'll do the leaves that color, and then we'll do the vines in the darker green. So this lighter green is called Hauser Light Green, I think. It's a lovely color. It's not quite lime green. It kind of looks a little lime green on top of this teal though. But it's a nice soft green. This is going to be so pretty when it's finished. There's lots of steps involved though. Getting all of these background colors painted kind of takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Sharon said, why do you not have your egg carton on the side your hand is painting with? I wonder if the paint will drip on your project. Sharon, these paints are thick enough. I don't usually have trouble with dripping. And I don't know. I think it's just because I'm constantly reaching across here to grab paints and things that I have just gotten used to keeping my paint on the opposite side. I don't know. You know how you just get used to doing something and that's just the way you always do it? That's just why, I guess. It's just the way I gotten used to it. If I put it over here on this other side, I'd be dipping on the wrong side then. Wouldn't know where to reach. And then somebody said, do you wash and reuse your egg cartons? Nope, I just throw them away. I have so many of those things around here that I just toss them. Helen says, seeing all these new questions takes me back to when I enjoyed signing up and being excited to have something new to do with my time and my sanity. I still have that excitement when I see Tamara paint. And if you're on the fence, I promise you won't be sorry. Helen, thank you so much for that sweet little testimonial. She is such a sweetheart. I'm so glad she's joined our clubhouse. That just gives you an example of the sweet ladies that are in the clubhouse. I really can't take credit for the amazing, how amazing they actually are. I have a video linked up here at the top, pinned up at the very top of my Facebook page, where we interviewed some of our members at the event in Nashville. And you can hear it in their own words why the community is so fantastic. One of the reasons is because they are so generous. Another reason is because we believe in community over competition. I think another reason is because we're all believers in God, and so we try to be like Jesus, and that makes us all, kinder to one another and kinder to ourselves. We don't criticize ourselves if we can help it, and we never criticize each other. And so we're trying to build each other up and lift one another up inside the clubhouse every single day. And some of these women have made friends for life inside this group, and it's so amazing to see it happening. One of my favorite things is when these ladies will post inside the group that they ran into a Painters Clubhouse member, like in their hometown, while going to like Lowe's or something to get wood, and they're like, guess who I met? And it's so cool to see them like connect with each other in real life. And then to see some of these ladies at the live event in Nashville that have become real life friends, and they sit together at the event, and they had never met until they joined the Painters Clubhouse. And so that just makes me feel so good to know that this group is bringing women together. They're connecting with each other. They're creating strong bonds and real friendships, and that is so important. Women need to build each other up. We need to support one another. We need to love one another, and women just need support in general. Like, it's hard nowadays to make friends, to be honest with you. It's hard to know who to trust, and it's hard sometimes to connect with people. And so if you find a group of people like this who all kind of believe the same thing and have a common goal, like learning to paint, it can make all the difference in how you treat yourself and how you get out of bed every day, and how you walk through life. Okay, this is the slightly darker green. I'm going to use it to fill in these little vines that are kind of going behind everything. This is why this one is a little bit more challenging. It's not really one for beginners. It's because it's got so many details, but it's so fun. I just love it. I'm kind of complaining about it, I know, but it's only because I'm impatient. I can't wait to see the end product, but I really am enjoying it, and I'm enjoying chatting with you guys. Jill said, Tamara is so right. I met such special women at the live event. Thank you so much. Carla, the coupon for Painters Clubhouse members is inside the Clubhouse on the main dashboard. If you scroll down, you should see it somewhere there. If you can't find it, you can always ask inside the Facebook group or email support, and we can get it to you also. But it should be right there on your main dashboard. I didn't hear what color is the coral pink. It's called melon. Kind of like cantaloupe melon, I guess. Not watermelon, but cantaloupe. Erica said, this just popped up on my feed and now I'm curious. What can I help you with, Erica? What do you want to know? Heather said, I'll admit I'm a bit nervous about the monthly fee, but the testimonials and experience with the Spring Door Hanger Challenge have made the decision easy, and I'm excited to get started. Heather, I'm so excited for you. You've got just the right mindset and like gumption to get these projects done and to like learn. And so I think you're going to do wonderfully. Erica, if you're just now joining us, we're talking about the Painters Clubhouse. It's my monthly membership. It closes tomorrow. We only open it 2 times a year. I teach how to paint door hangers. And so we have a lot of women in there who started out, they had never painted a door hanger before, but now they are painting several every single month. Some of them are still only painting 1 or 2 a month, if that, just because some of them enjoy doing it as a hobby, and that's okay. Not everyone has to start a business from this, but many of the women have chosen to start businesses because they've had so many people asking where they got these cute door hangers, and then they end up asking if, can you make me one? And before you know it, they've started a business. And so one of the cool things that we're going to do is, starting in the month of April, every month I'll be sharing with the Clubhouse a quick business tip of the month. And so for some of these ladies who are just starting out, it might be one little thing that they can begin to do in their business that will really help propel their business forward. I know a lot of the ladies that were at the event in Nashville, the Southern Adoornments live show, were so motivated to go home and start businesses that maybe hadn't even had a business before that, but they were hearing all of the successes of the ladies at the event that they couldn't wait to get home and launch their own business. Erica says, was this traced out for you? It is a etched door hanger blank, and so it has the lines already etched in the surface. So let me show you an example. This is a smaller one, but do you see how, do you see how on the wood the design is laser cut in there? You can barely see the design. You can paint right over the top of that and still see your design, so that it's kind of like paint by number. So all of the lines are already there for you. You don't have to freehand anything. And then we also sell templates. So if you're kind of crafty and kind of good with a jigsaw, or maybe want to learn how to use a jigsaw or a scroll saw, we can teach you how to cut your own shapes. And we can use the printable templates at home. You just print them on your computer. You tape them together. and then you trace them on your wood, and you can put graphite paper underneath them and transfer the entire design to your wood and then just get started painting. It's as simple as that. This is turning out so cute. Okay, we are getting so close to having all of the background colors covered. I'm going to have to put a second coat on some of this dark green here in a moment, but we're going to let it dry. And in the meantime, we're going to paint these little bitty flowers. They kind of look like little buds. Let's see, what color do I want to use? I think I want to use like a bright purple. This purple pizzazz is a really nice bright purple. We'll paint some of them that color and some of them maybe a darker color. I mean a lighter purple. I wanted this to look nice and springy. Laura said that's what happened to me and my best friend. We weren't planning on starting a business, but we came back from the live all fired up. Yes, those two were so sweet. They were a couple of kindergarten teachers who just needed to get away. Little did you know, Laura, that you were going to go home from the event and have to start teaching via Zoom call. Melody said, I started with the fall challenge and got hooked waiting for the good weather to cut mine outside of my apartment. Awesome. Are there certain days that we have to be available? No, not at all, Carol. We have all of our content is released on Mondays, and on the first of the month, we put out a calendar letting you know what to expect each week. And so sometimes if it's a live, we will tell you the time so that if you want to catch it live, you can, but it's not a requirement. You can always watch them on replay, and you can catch up any other time. So you do not have to be present for anything. Now, if you want to participate in the Zoom paint parties, of course you would need to be present for those to actually get the most out of them. We try to record them and put them in the members area later. If you don't get to attend, we try to record them so you can watch what you missed, but sometimes Zoom doesn't work out right and we aren't able to do that, but we try to. All right, I've mixed a little bit of white in with my purple pizzazz, and now I'm making a lighter color of purple that I'm going to do on these others. Are you going to be painting along? Are we going to be painting along with you during the Painters Clubhouse? How does it work? Bridget, I teach I teach one door hanger every month, and then a guest teaches another one. And so if it's my turn to paint, I usually tell you guys a time, and then you can paint live with me if you want to. But to be honest, most of our members choose not to paint live with me. They choose to paint on the replay, but some of them just join me during the live and ask questions and watch and paint later. And so most of these ladies are usually busy and can't paint during the live video, and that's okay. You can always just watch the replay and paint later. This spring challenge was my first and I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Wilhelmine. We do that twice a year. Thank you, Jeanette. Damon shared the live. Damon is one of our affiliates, so he probably shared it and put his affiliate link in there. These colors are turning out so pretty, aren't they? Okay, we've got all of the background painted, I believe. We need to do a second coat on the green. So yeah, I'm sorry, I got distracted answering your question. So yes, I teach one door hanger every month, and then a guest usually teaches the second one. And then on the other weeks, because there's usually 4 Mondays in a month, sometimes there's 5. On the other weeks, we usually have some sort of technique that we're teaching you or handy tip. For instance, this past Monday, one of our Clubhouse members, her husband, taught us how to cut out 8 door hangers at one time. Is that not impressive? 8 door hangers of the same shape at one time. He taught us how to clamp them together and how to cut all of them out at the same time. Now you may be wondering, if you're new to painting, why in the world would you want 8 of the same shape? If you're selling lots online and you're going to batch create your door hangers, we have a whole blog post about that over on the website, by the way. If you're going to batch create your door hangers, you're going to need 8 of the same design. Or if you're teaching a paint party, you're going to possibly need 8 of the same design for your guests to paint at the party. And so it's going to save you a ton of time to cut them all at once. And so he shows us how to do that. And that was our content for this past Monday. And then coming up next week on Monday, we have somebody teaching us how to do a bow. And so we have different guests that will come in and teach us new things. for instance, we have somebody sometimes who will come in and teach us hand lettering. Sometimes we have people who will come in and teach us about photographing our door hangers and things like that. And so you just never know. It's different every month. Okay, I'm going to go back because I was not supposed to paint this area blue and fix it. I'm going to paint it blue again. I was supposed to stop right there, and I did not. I got carried away. There we go. Okay, let me dry it and do a second coat real quick. Thank you, Heather, for catching that question and answering it for me. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome about doing that for me. Sometimes I get busy looking down and talking and painting, and I miss questions. So thank y'all for helping to answer them. Laura said the video of him cutting all those door hangers was jaw-dropping. Isn't that impressive? Tanya said, I cut 40 in 2 days. Tanya, there were days back when I was doing paint parties that I would paint, or I would cut 40 to 50 in like 2 hours on my front porch. And you talk about being tired and sore. My back and my arm was exhausted. Brandy, it should be in the What's Happening Now section on the, or inside the members area of Painters Clubhouse. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick like second coat on these little flowers. And then we're going to add some details because this is the most fun part of the whole project. Okay, so I'm going to get a round tip brush now. And I'm actually going to take that melon color we were using and just do some little, actually no, I don't want to do that. Let's get some white and mix with the rosy color we were using to make a slightly lighter color because that coral color wasn't looking exactly right. And so, hold up, I need some more white. I'm just making a lighter shade of pink and I'm just swirling it inside these little flowers, these little rosettes. This may look difficult, but I swear to you, it is not. You just swoosh your little paintbrush in there and you just say, I don't care how this turns out, I'm just going to keep swooshing until I like it. And just keep doing it. And if you add too much, you can always take the original paint color and add some more of the original. Bridget said, wow, I can't wait to learn how to cut my own door hangers. What is the difference between a skill and the other one? So this skill saw is like this, or oh wait, no, the skill saw is held by hand. It's a jigsaw and you move your hand like this to cut the shape. A scroll saw, hold on, I feel weird talking with just my hands. A scroll saw is a big machine with this arm that comes out, and at the end of the arm is a fixed blade that just goes up and down. And so the machine is sitting there, and you take your wood and you move it like this against that blade to cut the shape. And so the blade stays in place and you just maneuver and move the wood to follow the lines in the wood. And we have a whole video inside the beginner's course part of Painters Clubhouse that shows you exactly how to do that. So it sounds hard and it sounds scary, but it's not nearly as hard as it sounds. Melody said, I'm going to do a paint party. I just moved to Fort Wayne as soon as the social distancing is lifted. I'm so glad to hear that, Melanie. Okay, so let's finish up this door hanger, shall we? I will zoom back down in on it because I know you guys are having a hard time seeing what I'm doing. But this is what we've got done so far. Allie says, I want to sign up for the monthly template club, but I have signed up for Painters Clubhouse. How will that work? Okay, so for those of you who are like, wait, what? There's a template club? What's that mean? The template club is our other membership, and we do not teach you how to paint in the template club. We only teach you, or we don't teach you anything actually. We only provide templates. And so it's just kind of like a bulk discount that you get on the templates. And so you can join that for $30 a month and get up to 20 to 25 templates every single month. And they're always brand new templates that you don't have. Now, Painters Clubhouse members can sign up for that for only $20 a month. So it's a $10 a month savings. Now, Allie, if you are already, I dropped something on the thing and had to blow it off. If you are already a template club member and you just now joined Painters Clubhouse, you will need to email support@paintersclubhouse.com and just let them know that you've now joined Clubhouse and you would like to have the cost of Template Club adjusted for you so that you're getting the best price. So just email them and let them know and they will take care of it for you. Okay, I've mixed a little white in with this melon color, and I'm just going around the outer edge of these little petals to kind of add some cutesiness to it. with a little round tip brush. Again, this is another one of those things you got to quickly do it, because if you're going to sit here and agonize over getting it just right, it's not going to turn out looking right. It's going to look like you tried too hard. There we go. Deborah says she loves the template club. Awesome. Now, if you're a beginner painter and you're just now starting out, I don't recommend that you start with the template club, because you're going to have plenty to keep you busy inside the Painters Clubhouse. You're not going to need to join the template club right away, but that may be something you decide to add later if you, as you get more experience. Okay, I'm going to get a little sponge pouncer here, and we're going to just dip. We're just going to make this real easy. We're just going to get yellow on my sponge, and we're going to do the centers of these flowers with this yellow. This is Sunshine Yellow. It's a patio paint type of paint from Decor. It actually says patio paint on the bottle. And then we're just going to push down in the center of our flower, twist and lift. Twist and lift. There, oh, I got that one a little off center. Here, we'll twist and go back the other way. This one won't be a perfect circle. Totally okay, though. Look how pretty that is. So cute. Where do you find info on setting up lighting and recording videos for YouTube? Debbie, I do not teach that stuff. So I would recommend that you go to somebody who does teach videoing. I've just had to try to figure it out on my own, so I'm really not the right person to be teaching it. Okay. What is next? Let me look at my photo here. We need to do all of our details on the insides of the flowers and all of that kind of stuff. I also wanted to add a cute little hash, like a, what am I trying to say? Like a little cross hatch kind of design in the middle of these little flowers. So I may do that with white. I was going to do it with a different color, but so I'm just kind of doing like it's almost like a pound symbol or a hashtag symbol in the middle of these little flowers. But the flowers aren't really dry, so it's not working. So let me dry them. Deborah, the email address for support was support@paintersclubhouse.com. I think that's the email address you were talking about. Okay, so now that we have all of that done, we can take our paint pens and add tons of cute little details. So these are the paint pens I was talking about that I have linked on my Amazon shop. They come in 3 sizes. You get 1 black and 1 white of each size. So you've got your largest, your middle size, and your small. So we're going to use the middle size. Oh, I always grab the silver one. It looks just like the black one. And we're just going to add a bunch of actually, I think I want to use the smallest one. Sorry, I'm changing my mind midway through talking. So this is the smallest one, and we're just going to go in and add tons of details. But the important thing here is that our paint is dry. So let me dry. It's mostly dry. We'll just start on some of the areas that are dry. Somebody said, what kind of, oh, you guys are talking, y'all are all talking to each other. Go right ahead. I love it when y'all have side conversations in the comments. So this is the really fine tip one. And I'm going to make him a little fluffy tail. And so we're just adding little details around our bunnies to give them just a little bit of definition. Again, this is another thing that you're not going to want to go too slow or take your time about, because you'll be able to, like, it'll look funny if you try too hard. It almost looks better if you just go for it and make it whimsical. Okay, so all of our bunnies are outlined. And now we can go in and we can add some outlines to our leaves. Don't be a perfectionist with this part. Just loosely trace the outside of the leaves. I almost think it looks better if it's not perfectly along the edge of the leaf. If it's just a little bit more off kilter. You could use a Sharpie for this, but Sharpies dry out super fast, so the paint pens are better for this. But I will say, if you are using these paint pens and you want to put a clear coat on your door hanger afterwards, please don't use brush-on sealer. Use spray-on, because these paint pens will bleed if you try to use brush-on sealer. We've had many ladies make that mistake, and it's very frustrating when it happens. Okay, now we can just go back and add some to our little vines here. Does anybody have any more questions about Painters Clubhouse? Tomorrow is the last day to sign up, so ask all your questions now. If I miss any of your questions or you didn't get your question answered, when you go to the website to check it out, there is all kinds of information on there for you. And so read through that. Look at the very bottom. There's a frequently asked questions section, and you can read there lots of things that are common questions people ask about the Clubhouse. And you can probably find the answer that you're looking for. Like I said, if you sign up by tonight, you get a bonus video that teaches you how to do a football sign door hanger. And that will be super popular this fall when football starts back up. Hopefully, we will have all of our sports back up and running by then. I can't imagine not being back in our regular routines by then. Okay, and now we get to go around our flowers. So again, with this, I'm going to be super quick and loose about it. I'm not even going to try to follow perfectly the design. I'm just trying to be whimsical here. This is the skinniest paint pen. I don't use it as often as I do the others, but it's kind of fun when there's this many details. The skinny one works just a little bit better because it doesn't overwhelm you with too many black lines. On a door hanger that has less details, you could use a thicker paint pen. Okay, I'm looking to see what else I've missed because there's so many details. I'm sure I've missed something. Oh, here's one. Missed this one. Sometimes you guys catch them before I do. Oh, these didn't get outlined. Okay, I think I got it all. So now we can take a little bit of white. I may actually use the middle size white one instead of the smallest. And we'll just go through, hang on, I gotta pump some of this down. We'll just go through and add some little white highlights to some of these little buds. Maybe add just a little bit to our leaves, like in a little wiggle. Again, this is a very whimsical design, so we're not going for super realistic here. Add a little bit to our flowers. A little bit to these leaves here. And then a little bit to these flowers. There we go. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of a round tip brush and some really, really light blue. Again, I've got to mix this because I don't even have this color. But it's going to be mostly white. It's going to be very, very transparent blue. And then I'm just going to put just a little shadow kind of on these bunnies so that they're not only white. They're going to have just a little bit of a shadow of blue. You probably won't even be able to pick it up on the camera here watching. Put a little bit inside the toe, the feet. There we go. All right, these little bunnies are all done. Let me zoom out here. Hello again. And let me hold it up so you guys can see it. The colors look a little bit washed out on this camera for whatever reason. So I will post a picture of it as soon as the video is over in the comments so you guys can see what it really looks like in all of its glory, because it is so pretty. If I do say so myself. Somebody said, are those chalk pens or paint pens? They're paint pens. Yes, there is a difference. And they are linked in my Amazon affiliate shop if you want to go and grab those. Now, tomorrow morning, Friday morning, I will be back here again. I do a Friday Fab 5 every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Here on my page, I share 5 of my favorite things from the past week with you guys. And so if y'all come join me then. Somebody said, are these door hangers etched? Yes, they are etched, so you can follow along. Erin said, I want to start painting and doing paint parties. I know there are others locally that also sell. Should I be concerned about too much local competition? Erin, not at all. And the reason I say this is because there are people in your community who may do the same thing you do. And those people may not support you, and that's fine. They may actually see you as competition and may never see you as an ally instead of an enemy. And so I want you, I do want you to kind of like encourage those people and reach out to them and, you know, try to put out a friendly hand if you can to kind of see how you can support one another. For instance, if you were all booked up in the month of October and couldn't take any more paint parties until Christmas, and you had somebody local who was really wanting to book a party, you could say, you know what, my friend so-and-so over across town is doing parties next month. See if her calendar's not full, and she might return the favor to you as well. And who knows, if you guys had a huge fundraiser paint party for in your town, you could link arms and join up together and do it together. So I think you are much stronger working together than you are working against one another. Now, that's not saying that you would actually partner and be the same business. You would be your own businesses, but you would support one another and lean on one another when needed. Now, if this person is completely against that, my advice is to unfollow their Facebook page so you don't even see what they're up to. You pretend like they're not there, you put on blinders, and you just do you. Focus on your business, growing your business, and you will be successful no matter what they're doing. And so if you worry about yourself and you grow your own business, people will support you for you. They will come to your parties because they like you. They like the way you teach. And so the same is probably also going to be true about the person who's technically your competition in town. People may go to her because they like her way better. But there's going to be people who like your way better as well. And there's more than enough business to go around for all of us. So I want you to be encouraged by that and to not let it get you down. Tomorrow's the last chance. It's the last day. And so if you haven't been convinced by now to sign up, I'm not sure what else I can say to you, but I will be back again tomorrow night painting live, just in case I've missed some of you that maybe didn't see this video. If you want to see more painting videos, we have tons here on our Facebook page and on our YouTube. I've put the link for my YouTube account in the link message that gets sent to Facebook Messenger, because Facebook's been kind of glitchy lately, and so if you're not able to access my videos here, you may want to go watch them over on YouTube. So thank y'all for joining me tonight, and I will see you again soon. Bye, y'all. Oh, and don't forget to sprinkle the love and let me know that you've done so in the comments so you can be entered for Happy Mail drawing. Bye, y'all.